Hello and welcome to the Ferret Business Podcast. I am your host, Yemmy the Ferret, aka Yemmy, aka DJ Yemmy. And with me today is the master of crazy faces, the live streamer from hell.
Really? That's what we're going with today? How long did you prepare that for?
When did we start recording?
Okay. Yes, it is me. It is I.
Please welcome back. Please welcome back to the show, Joyful Death.
Thank you so much for having me, Yemmy. I'm very excited to be back on your show. This is awesome.
Welcome back. I hope you like what I did with the place, the recording studio.
Yeah, well, it's changed since the last time I was here, looking around. Definitely. I mean, you have moved some things around.
Yeah, the two buckets we sit on, upgraded them to the Home Depot ones. They're no longer ones from Walmart.
Oh, thank God. Yeah, those are a little uncomfortable.
Anyways, Joyful Death's links will be down below. Twitter, YouTube. How you doing today, Joy?
I'm doing okay. Doing all right. Excited to be here, and it's been a good day so far.
Well,
how about you?
I'm doing pretty good. Had an interesting day, long day of work, but here we are at the weekend.
Yes.
We're good. We're good to go.
TGIF or some things like that.
Speaking of work, you were doing a lot of work on your house recently.
Yes.
Was it to sell eventually, or was it just to spruce up?
No, it was to sell. Well, and it was to sell, but in the eventuality that it didn't sell or something, we'd be very happy with the results either way. But yeah, no, we decided we found a beautiful house, but it's like an hour and a half away from us. But it's worth less than our house here because it's so far away from the Twin Cities. But we're very excited for that, and our offer's been accepted on that, and the offer that we got on our house has been accepted, so we're just kind of pushing paperwork through and working towards that, and we'll hopefully be moving into our new house at the end of September. So very, very excited. It's been very busy, but we're very excited.
Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, my uncle and aunt just bought a new house, and they went from a ranch-style home to this like freaking mansion near my parents' house.
Oh, jeez.
And they just did they just finished all this work on their old house, and they moved into the new one, and it starts all over again.
Yep. You gotta do it. Yeah, we're gonna have a little bit of that too, but I think we're just gonna wait till next year, till next spring or whatever to do anything. So, but yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you gotta do. Seems like it all over again, but. To make it what you want out of it, but that's okay. We're very excited.
So you actually went to 2DCon.
I did. Oh my God, it was so amazing. It was so much fun. I'm assuming you just want me to just jump right into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Go. I went with my oldest son, and it was 3 days, but we couldn't go on Friday because I had to work. But that was okay because there's still plenty to see. My favorite places were probably Indie Island, where they had a bunch of indie developers there with their games, and you could sit there and play them. And they also had indie games for VR and stuff, and that was really fun to actually talk to developers, and they were very interested in how you felt about the game. They really wanted your feedback, and they were all sitting right there with their game, watching you play and seeing how you liked it. And it was really cool to talk to. I think I talked to maybe 2 or 3 of them for longer periods of time, just sitting there talking while my son played a lot of the games. But they were really cool. One of them talked to me for a while about because I think they used, it was called Flailure, and I think they used not Unity, I'm drawing a blank.
Unreal?
Yes, that one, Unreal Engine. And he was talking about how they did, Unreal has this kind of I don't know what they call it, but it's almost like a snapboard or something where if you look at it from afar, it kind of looks like a mind map. Like if you were to brainstorm something and you would circle something and then you would draw a line to something else, it kind of looks like that from afar. But if you click on each node is like, there's math here, there's a math node, and there's a this node and a that node, and kind of blew my mind. I was like, this is too much for me. He was incredibly smart. I was like, can we talk about like blood and guts? I know about those things. I have a different kind of knowledge that has nothing to do with this math crap that you're throwing at me. He's like, yeah, sine and cosine and tangent and math words and more math words. I'm like, no, my brain fried about like 3 seconds ago. So
it's funny because I kind of know those words you said, but do I remember how to use them? Nah.
I mean, they sound vaguely familiar, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know how to put them together.
Like, I remember the name quadratic formula.
Oh, that's a big word.
But yeah. I don't remember how it goes.
My favorite from chemistry is Avogadro's number. I like that one.
It sounds cool.
It's very, very cool sounding.
Sounds like some like folk band.
And I don't remember what you did with it either. I just, there was some dividing things, and I don't remember why.
You probably played the banjo.
Yeah. Absolutely. But yeah, no, so he was like super cool. He talked to me about some of that stuff and about how they wrote a lot of their game in what is it, HTML language, or the coding language. They wrote some of it out. And then the Unreal Engine, you could use some of the nodes and stuff, and it would seamlessly put their two things together with their coding, and then with the, I don't know what you want to call it, snapboard or whatever. They put the two things together and it works seamlessly together. I'm like, that is really, really cool.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. So he was really awesome.
Did you get any like free codes from people, or was it more just like visiting and talking?
It was a lot of visiting. The guys at Failure offered to send me copies of their game when it comes out. So a lot of these games aren't fully out yet, or some of them aren't fully out yet.
Right.
So theirs isn't out yet. It will be out later, 2018. The other one I talked to was wait, let me get it right. It's like Mowcopter there's Mowcopter by Untied Games. And he was a really cool guy. He also does YouTubing and he's on Twitter as well. And he made this really cute little game. I think it should be in my streaming and stuff. So if you're interested, I couldn't tell you where it is in there. I want to do a highlight reel and stuff and really highlight some of that stuff at some point when I have time. But
right.
Yeah. But his was really cool. He said that he got inspired by like Mega Man stuff, and so the feel of it, like the background and stuff, is very kind of mechanical and Mega Man like, but you're flying this little copter thing around, and it's like a puzzle solving thing at the same time. It was very, very cool. My oldest just sat there and he would have played it the whole freaking day if I let him. Like, I'm like, no, you have to let other people play this game too, buddy. So that was really cool. And I didn't get anything from him because it's still not out yet. He says it's going to be out later this year or beginning of next year. And then Verdant Skies was another one where I talked to the artist for a while because she was the one that happened to be around, and I learned some really cool things from her just by asking questions, and so she drew. The art was just really, really beautiful, and I was really fascinated with how they got the grass to move. I was like, how like just grass and ambient things in the background. I'm like, how is that animated? And so she told me that she would draw the basic art for it, and then she would give it to the animator, the next person in the line, mm-hmm. and they would put it in their computer system and would actually add shading to it, and that's what caused it to move back and forth. And I'm like, that is just the coolest thing. And I think I picked up like a 25% off code from that. I have to go find it. It's in my bag of goodies.
It's somewhere around here.
It's somewhere around here. It's in my bag of goodies. I kept everything together so I didn't lose it all. But it was really neat talking to her, and she's actually working at a bigger company right now, and she actually wants to get back and work on it some more and do some more improvements with the things she's learned at the bigger company. But she obviously has a bigger job and can't leave it. She's got maybe a contract. I don't know how it works. But I learned so many neat things just talking to people. It was just so cool. And then the marketplace with all the artists and stuff. And
yeah, I saw like the little night figures that guy made.
Oh, I know. Wasn't he amazing?
Those were pretty cool.
Was that the one where he's painting them?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he takes like 2 to 3 hours to paint each figure, and I was like, how do you not go, oh my god, I would just brain numb. Like, I can't, like, that's not relaxing for me. And I'd be like, splash of paint, we're good, it's done. But, you know, to each their own. It's like, yeah, it's just amazing, the talent and everything that was there. It was really, really cool. I thought it was really cool, the one girl who had the little arm fuzzy things. I don't know if you saw them. They're like little paws on the hands, and then the rest of them is like the forearm is covered and it's like fuzzy. And the reason she made them is because her hands would always be cold, but she didn't want to wear full gloves. So because she still wanted to use her hands. So she made these really cute things out of different furs and stuff. And then she put little paw prints like right where your palm would be. It was just so cute. And I was like, well, I can't afford to buy them now, but I want to special order some. So I'm going to special order some when I can afford it. And she also had some CDs there of stuff for Mega Man and Capcom. And she said that one of the people that was associated with the booth or something, like, works for Capcom or was offered a contract with Capcom for providing the music for Capcom or for Mega Man. Yeah, something like that.
One of those two.
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't really follow because the nerd speak got really heavy when another talking about it, and that's how I learned about it. So it wasn't in my language. So I could only pick up a little bit of it. I mean, I'm a nerd. I'm just, some things are a little over my head sometimes.
Yeah. I think we've all been there. But you know what?
Right?
You know what she also did? She stole my idea.
She stole your idea? What was your idea?
I used to cut off the tops of tube socks and wear them as arm socks. For marching band, because it got really cold out. So she
also made them a lot cuter than ugly, nasty socks. So you're more than welcome to try and sell your stinky, smelly socks.
People would buy it. I think so.
Maybe if you sign it, Yemmy the Ferret.
Yeah. Are there any other cons coming up that you want to go to, or just 2D con?
Oh gosh, I think there's one this weekend. I just can't make it because we have so much going on with school starting soon. And I think a lot of them are really in the spring for us. I think there's like a horror con coming up. It's like Crypticon or something coming up.
I think there's like a SawCon.
Is that near you?
I'd have to check. SawCon.
Yeah, I'm not sure. If I didn't when I googled, because I looked up cons to see what else was coming up nearby me, and there just really isn't a ton. There's one this weekend. It's like Mecha Anime Con or something like that. And then I think there's like maybe one more in September, and that's it. I mean, they have to compete with like Renaissance Festival right now and the State Fair right now. So, because those are all big things right now. State Fair is like 12 days of stuffing yourself full of fried foods. Too many people there. I don't like to go to it.
Isn't there like a huge medieval festival around you too? Medieval Fair?
Yeah, Renaissance Festival. It's in Shakopee, Minnesota, and it's every weekend now until like usually either the last weekend of September or the first weekend in October, depending on where it falls.
I always loved going to those Renaissance fairs. They always have the coolest stuff there, and it's like there's like a giant glass sculpture of a dragon. You're like, how much is that? And he's like, $5,000. Like, okay.
And that's how much it costs to get it here.
And now I understand why there are 2 skeletons guarding it.
Right. Yeah, I do like to go there. I actually, the last few years we've gone, I actually dress up.
Oh yeah, it's always fun to dress up. I don't.
I'm just waiting for like Mega Nerd to come out.
Oh no. Now if you were saying never mind.
That we don't nerd shame here. No, it's all good. Everything is good.
So you actually have a little bit of a clothing line now.
I guess kind of. Sort of.
Has some of your famous catchphrases on. Things like "suck my hammer."
Yeah.
I must touch all the things.
Yeah, made that. Absolutely. I wear both of those.
A lot of nice designs. What game has been your favorite since I last talked to you? The stream now, like, is there one that's standing out that you like to go back to a lot? Like, I'm gonna guess it's Dead by Daylight, but I could be wrong.
Okay, so I guess it depends on if I'm playing with friends or by myself, because I mean that's two entirely different worlds, you know. I think with friends, I mean, we haven't played Dead by Daylight in a while. The problem with Dead by Daylight, and I do enjoy it a lot, is that I personally feel like we really need to have a group in order to play, because I really don't like to pug it. I don't like the community with it. So, and most people I'm sure are fine, but just the general, you never know who you're gonna end up. I don't like pugging any game, honestly, because people just get so salty and butthurt and can't just play and have fun.
Yeah.
I just want to play and have fun. Yeah, I suck at the game. I know it. You don't have to like jump all over my dead body and really show me how you feel, how much I suck. I know. I'm well aware. I just want to have fun with my friends, you know? And we've been lucky that we've met, you know, like Severin and I don't know who else we've met that had like just randomly we ran across them. Like we ran across him in Deceit. We got really lucky that way. But it's not common, you know, to find people.
Yeah, it's true.
That have the right temperament.
Yeah, I know. Anytime I don't have everyone muted on Call of Duty, you get some colorful characters.
Colorful language, and yeah, it's just I just want to play and have fun. I'm not serious about it. I'm not trying to like I'm not trying to top any leaderboards here. I know that's not attainable. I'm well aware of my capabilities. So I just like to have fun, you know? So that's why I need to have a group of 5 to play that game. So sometimes it's a little harder and sometimes we have too many people, you know, that want to play. And then it's like, well, then we got to switch to Deceit or Human Fall Flat or something like that, or Hand Simulator. Those have all been really fun. So I really enjoy those with the group. And so we have also started 2 servers, dedicated servers. We have a Conan Exile server that we fund, or Pikey and I fund, and also a 7 Days to Die server.
Oh, so, nice.
Yeah, dedicated, and it's not on our computers and whatnot, and our Reaper friends can use them and play together and whatnot. And I think that's been really, really fun for our community, and good for getting people to play together, and just having friends to play together when, you know, I don't have to be around for it. People just get on and play together, and I feel like that's kind of what I want. I want my channel, my Discord, my everything to be a community, a place where you can have fun and hang out with your friends, you know?
Yeah.
That's what I want it to feel like.
Speaking of fun,
yeah,
I built this little game for us to play.
Oh shit.
I have 5 scenarios here, and I need you to rate them in terms of, would it be a joyful death or a horrible death?
I love you, Yemmy. Okay, I can play this. This sounds great.
All right, so
I have to say if it's a joyful death or a horrible death.
Yeah, I think all these are going to be horrible, but we'll see. We'll see what you say.
Okay.
Number 1. You got earbuds in, and it's playing Ear Rape Papa Roach.
Mm-hmm.
And your brain turns to mush and you die.
See, I find that as a joyful death. Like, I would be perfect. I know you wouldn't be, but I feel like for me, it's not. I actually, you know what? I put on Papa Roach radio the other day, and I thought of you.
But it wasn't Ear Rape, though.
How so do you choose Ear Rape Papa Roach radio? Is that like the choice you make on that?
You type it into YouTube, and
I have concerns about what your search engine looks like.
Oh, you don't want to know.
No, I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Next up, Shrek, naked.
Oh.
Sits on your face, cheeks spread.
No.
Suffocation.
I'm definitely a horrible dad. I bet it smells really bad too. It's disgusting. Oh God.
Especially
speaking
he
of
bathes
that,
in mud, you know.
oh God, we were watching an episode of Wipeout the other day, and there's this lady who, let's just say, she couldn't get up the ladder, and they have like their first responders or like their lifeguards or whatever help her up. He literally stuck his face in her butt to help push her up the ladder. I was like, oh my God. And then they like kept replaying that part.
They really like that.
Oh, yes. I was like, oh my God.
All right, next up we got Joyful Death fan fiction.
Oh no.
Being shoved down the throat, and you die of paper cuts in the throat.
Where do you come up with this shit, Yemmy? So you're not even done. I feel like that would be a joyful death. I mean, it's me. I feel like me causing any death in any sort of way would be joyful, no matter how it is. I think that would be wonderful. You're welcome. Next up,
a Turkish rapper.
Oh no.
Rages.
I'm sorry. Okay, finish what you're saying.
Rages. Pulls out a controller. Throws at your face. Death by concussion. I don't know what you're saying. He knocks you out so hard that you fall down the Hoover Dam, and that's it.
Oh, I'm at the Hoover Dam? Well, I feel...
This is a once-in-a-lifetime scenario.
I am torn because I feel like... I love the Hoover Dam. I've been there. I got to kayak from the base of the Hoover Dam down. It was amazing. So I feel like on the one hand, it would be joyful. On the other hand, I have a little bit of PTSD from Turkish rappers. So I'm a little concerned. I feel like it would still be a joyful death. I remember falling off the Hoover Dam in N64, my Bond game, many times. Yeah. It's joyful. It's joyful. We'll go with joyful.
Last one here.
Mm-hmm. How the fuck did you come up with these, Yemmy?
I have an idea, and I write them down. And I
so creative.
Who would be suited to play this game?
Oh!
Alright, so last one here.
Last one.
PewDiePie comes up behind you.
Oh God.
Wraps one of his shirts around your neck, chokes you. Death by asphyxiation.
He didn't talk though, right?
Oh, he's doing his old laugh, his old PewDiePie laugh.
You didn't say he said anything.
I didn't say that he didn't say anything. Now did I?
As long as he doesn't do his intro, I'm good. PewDiePie. Oh God, no.
That's the last thing you hear before you.
Okay, it turned into a horrible death. I hate you. Well, that was a lot of fun. That was creative. Way to go, Yemmy.
Oh, thanks.
That's good.
All right, tell me a little bit about this vampire game, because this is a game I've been interested in a while, but I've been waiting for a sale to play it. Tell me about it.
That's a good idea. I mean, like, I'm torn because, like, I really like the premise of the game. I like the fact that I'm a vampire and I get to make choices, but I don't know if you've read any of the reviews. Some of them say that your choices don't really matter all that much. Like, even when you say things, I don't know really how far it affects your outcome. Dash is a really good resource because he has played this game inside and out. He has played it as a good guy, as a bad guy, as a medium guy, as an ultimate good guy, as a every which way. He said everything you could possibly say. And so if you really desire the ins and outs of it, he could be a really good resource for you. Overall, I feel like it's a good game. I have a problem where, and this is my own personal problem, where if you put these things in this game, I have to do all the things. I have to touch all the things. I need to do all the things. I need to find all the things. So I tend to get really distracted when I have like all these little side quests and stuff, and then I'm avoiding like some of the main quests, but I also feel like I'm not leveled enough for some of the stuff I'm supposed to be doing. So I don't know where I'm falling wrong, but I'm also streaming while I'm doing it. And so that could be because I'm not paying enough attention to the game.
Oh, yeah.
So there's that piece of it is a possibility. But part of the game too is just talking to like every single person you find. So it's a lot of talking to people.
Oof.
Yeah. So if you're not interested in talking to every person and exploring every like chat option with every person you find, then it might not like I don't really fight a ton. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't always have to if I don't want to either, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's something to keep in mind. It's a lot of talking. Yeah, it's cool though, but I don't know.
Kind of sounds like a more boring version of Mass Effect, to be honest.
I mean, I like Mass Effect a lot too. I had a hard time with getting into the last game, but
Andromeda. We don't talk about that on the channel.
I remember though, like looking back at the first game, I mined so many fucking planets. Like I would sit there and mine and mine and mine.
Join. That's the second game, and I'm gonna have to ask you to leave the podcast.
Second game. I don't remember. I just remember mining so much. So much, and I love those games. Oh my god, I love the story in games. But yeah, it's a lot of talking to people, and I mean, with Vampire, you could choose to just eat everyone if your mesmer is high enough, and you would have no problems. But I'm trying not to do that.
I'm trying to be a good person.
I'm trying to be like a mildly average person, just killing criminals, and it's hard because they're not all criminals. Some of them just make really bad decisions and I want to kill them for it, but I don't know if that makes them a criminal.
Right.
Yeah.
So what would you say is the spookiest game you've played on the channel so far?
That is a really good question.
Spookiest
game. Spookiest game I've played. I think gosh, okay. I mean, I played Remothered, but I don't feel like that game was like spooky necessarily as like jump scary, and then at times just really frustrating because the people would just spawn behind me, and it's like, I know you weren't on this, and there's no way you could just come up behind me. I think that's a load of bullshit.
Right.
I've played a lot of like little one-offs where I finished the episode or finished the game in like one stream or something, which has been really nice. And some of them have been like really creepy and they've pushed those buttons that I don't like being pushed, like kids or stuff like that. I really Never Again was one that really pushed the kids thing. I really don't like that. I mean, the game was good. I just push those buttons and I don't like it. I just don't like it. But I think the scariest one that I've played has still been Home Sweet Home.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think she made me jump and scream so much more than any other game. Like I've even played and that was good, but I think for the length of time and for what the game is, I think Home Sweet Home really got me the most. Freaking bitch, I hate her.
So the last question for today is, since we didn't really talk about it last time, we kind of just jumped into things. How did your video game career start, and where did your love for spooky games and horror start?
So how did my video game career, and as career you mean like on video game?
Yeah.
That was an or question?
Oh, you cut out at the or.
Oh! I was like, you can't just say yeah. That was a yes or a this or a this question, Yemmy. So do you mean like since I've been playing video games since however when, or since I've been on YouTube?
However when.
Since however when. Okay. It started when I was a kid. My parents, my dad had I think he had a Sega Genesis and a Super Nintendo. And I remember playing Sonic at his house. And at my mom's house growing up, we first had a regular Nintendo. And eventually, I don't think we had the Super Nintendo, but I think we went to the Nintendo 64. And that was mostly mine. I played that a lot. Zelda, and I played a lot of Wave Racer. For some reason, I remember playing that a lot.
I loved Wave Racer. That's
I know. Like jumping with the jet skis and shit. That was awesome. And then playing a lot of James Bond, and I was really freaking good at that game. My friends didn't like to play with me. But yeah, so I mean that's kind of and then playing computer too. I remember way back in the day when we first got our first computer and we were playing Warcraft, orcs versus humans. And, they'd say, "Jup, jup," and "Okay, boss." And I love the peons and the orcs and stuff. And then going through the story modes of that. And as the different ones of that came out, I was a huge Warcraft fan. And I played World of Warcraft. We played it for 5 or 6 years before it kind of got watered down a little bit,
Oh. Sounds like you got some animosity towards World of Warcraft.
I don't have animosity. I just... they made leveling, way super easy at the, you know what I mean? At the beginning, they kind of, streamlined it so that new people could get up to the higher levels and do that, which is fine. I mean, it just, when you...
Kind of negates all the leveling you did, hardcore.
Sort of, yeah, and, I don't know, World of Warcraft was not, it wasn't the first of its kind, but it was very... much made it so that it was accessible to so many more people than ESO. ESO was a little bit more difficult. I think, and not as flashy. It was a little more gritty and dark. Whereas World of Warcraft had different areas of being dark, but it was also bright and colorful and not cartoony, but kind of in between.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like it was really accessible to a lot of people and then you have new MMOs coming out, and then they have to compete. So then they take things from that, and it just becomes this huge kind of whitewash. So then it's you could kind of just pick whatever MMO appeals to you the most. You know what I mean? Because you kind of get the same thing with any MMO that you pick, basically. Because they all have achievements now. They all have quest trackers. They all have. Whereas before, you used to have to download. Some sort of mod trackers, and you'd have to get specific ones to get your quest trackers and all that stuff. I mean, it was significant effort, and I liked that part of it. Pikey used to have to always put that shit on my computer for me.
Well, so let this be a message to anyone who doesn't trust Joy as being a true gamer, because World of Warcraft N64, there you go.
Sega Genesis. I played that.
There you go. Do you get that a lot where someone comes to the stream and is like, "Oh, girl gamer, huh?"
No, not really, actually. I really try to keep it focused on the game and stuff too, and not too. I mean, I've had a couple people come be a little insulting, but I mean, the nice thing about my community and stuff is they jump on them pretty fast and don't let them get away with that, which is really nice. But I had one person come in. Oh, it still makes everybody laugh, and now it's the running joke in the group. Someone came into the chat and they're like, "Oh my god," and they're like, "I saw your thumbnail and I just had to come in here and see if your forehead was really that big." And I'm like, "You motherfucker!" So now Nomads calls me Fivehead, and that's Bang. And then I went and got bangs to try and cover my Fivehead. So if you're wondering why I have bangs now, that's why. I was sad inside about it.
There are a lot of famous YouTubers who have a large forehead. Jack Films, Pyrocynical. Yourself.
Yeah.
You are up there with the greats.
Good.
So where did your love for horror and I'm guessing horror movies come from?
So when I was a kid, I was the only one brave enough to watch horror movies, and I think I watched my first one was that, and I I don't know if I snuck and saw part of it or I watched part of it through a blanket and watched through the holes or something. I remember the people exploding off the walls or something. Is that a thing?
I'm sure it is.
I remember people exploding somewhere and they were like trapped on the walls, and I would have dreams about that.
Oh, that's got to be Alien.
Yeah.
One of the Alien movies.
One of the Alien movies, yeah. Maybe I cut out, maybe you didn't hear that, I don't remember.
Oh.
But yeah, so I think it was one of the Aliens movies, and I mean, while it scared me a little bit, it didn't stop me from wanting to keep watching scary movies. I also remember seeing part of it when I was little, and that one really, really scared me. I still, to this day, won't watch the new movie either, but it also has kids. I have an issue with kids being hurt. I mean, I think it's because after I had my own kids, I also stopped watching horror movies for a while. I just don't like bad things happening to kids, and
understandable.
Yeah. But when I was a kid, I used to stay up late and watch horror movies by myself. I would, because nobody else was brave enough to watch them with me. They would all go to bed, and I would stay up and watch horror movies. I would watch vampire movies and whatever, and and then I'd have to try to go around the house in the dark, and I'd be like, okay, turn the lights on really quick. Oh, okay, the bathroom's safe.
Yeah. I always remember running to the bed, from the doorway to the bed, because there could be something under there that could snatch it.
Yes. Yeah. Every now and then I catch myself doing that now. Every now and then. Not too bad, but every now and then you just get that little shiver of fear, and you're like, oh, get the foot up quick. Just quick. Oh, okay. I'm safe.
Do you know what my first horror movie was?
No, but I would love to hear it.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh, that sounds scary and terrible at the same time.
When I was a kid, that was it. No more clowns. It's over.
Oh, so I know I can send you clowns.
Well, I mean, nowadays it's just like, oh, there's a creepy pedophile clown, whatever. But when I was a kid, it was like, oh, they're gonna wrap me up in cotton candy and suck out my blood with a spendy straw. Like it was awful. It was really just like a downright scary movie, and I don't know why my father would want me to watch that, but
that's hilarious. Oh my god.
And then the funny thing is, like, my sister was deathly afraid of gremlins. But I wasn't. I really enjoyed the movie when I was a kid. So
yeah, that's a good. We've actually let our kids watch that one now.
It's not too bad.
No,
I mean,
not.
The green one who smokes a cigar might be a little spooky, but other than that.
Yeah, I mean, we would just go with the preface that, remember, these are all puppets and not real, and it's okay. And they actually did okay. Our oldest one, actually, he really, really wants to play like FNAF. Really bad.
Oh god.
He's been wanting to play FNAF for a long time, or like the Slender Man.
Oh jeez.
So first what we decided to do is we're like, okay, so we were at the bookstore and he found the Aliens omnibus books or whatever. And he's like, I really want this. And we're like, okay, well maybe we're going to start with books, because while book descriptions might be like in the books, they might be really descriptive and whatnot, but it can't seeing visually is different than what you can imagine in your own mind.
Yeah.
So we let him read that. He made it through it. And he's like, nope, I'm good. It's all good. No nightmares, whatever. Sometimes, like, if they see something like a little scary or something on TV, they get a little freaked out, and then they like to sleep in the same bed because they're 11 and 6. But, so it's like, sometimes when they do that, we're like, okay, keep in mind, you want to be able to play scary movies or and watch scary movies. You read the book, so we're getting there, but we'll slowly ease into that stuff, because I don't want them crawling into my bed in the middle of the night. I like to sleep.
That's when you're in bed and they're crawling in. You put on the Five Nights at Freddy mask.
You're so mean.
All right. Well, Joy.
I was going to say one more thing.
Go ahead.
Pikey actually tried to teach the gremlins to do the grudge sound, the sound. Oh. He tried to get them to wake me up with that sound, and I was like, are you trying to get them killed? What are you trying to do? Oh, go ahead now. I'm done.
All right. Joy, you are the #1 fan-requested returning member And I'm glad that we finally were able to get our schedules aligned and you could come on. How is that feeling of... We're here. We're at the end of Joyful Death interview number 2. Like, how are you feeling?
That's so sweet. I appreciate everyone so much. It is such an honor to have everyone want to know anything about me. I mean, I'm just a person just like everybody else, and I'm just out there playing games, and I just started it for the heck of it. I didn't think it would go anywhere at all, you know? My goal is just to build a community where we can have fun and play games together and support each other. I really want to support, other YouTubers. I want to help with what I've learned, and I eventually want to make videos that help people.
Okay.
And just bring support and help to the community, and just because, we can all learn. This whole thing has been a learning process for me, and I just want to help bring what I've learned to everyone else. And I actually did a presentation at the convention that I was at, and part of my thing was that I had someone come to me in one of my streams and say, well, I only have 400 subscribers, and what I think of that is that it's amazing that you even have 400 subscribers. If you think about it in terms of how many people that would be if you had them following you around in real life. Think about that. You have 400 people, or 200, or 100, 67, whatever your number. You have that many people interested enough in you to press that button because they want to know what you have to say. They want to see what you're doing. They are interested in you, and they are just waiting for the next thing that you're going to do. That is fascinating to me.
It's awesome. It really is.
Yeah, that's great. And even as a small YouTuber, if you don't have that many subs, just think about how many people you have relying on you and are interested in what you have to say. And my goal for my channel is that even if I don't make it to big numbers, that's not my goal. I would rather have 1,000 loyal or 100 loyal, however many loyal subscribers who are interested in what I have to say, who communicate with me, who interact with me. I would rather have a small number of people who I feel like I have a really good, community and relationship with than 100,000 million people that I can't communicate with. Because my goal is, when I go online, if one person comes to my stream and says, you know what, you improved my day, you made me smile, and thank you, that has made my day. That is the best thing I could have done all day.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's an awesome feeling when someone comes and tells you that. And that's good advice, too. I think that's great advice.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I firmly believe that. So don't get yourselves down, people. Keep striving. All those people are relying on you because they hit that button. That's what that means.
Well, all right. That is all the time we have today on the Ferret Business Podcast with Joyful Death. Joy, is there anything else you want to say before we skedaddle? I was trying to think of something funny. But I couldn't think of it.
Before we do something else? Before we split like a banana? No, I think I've said what I want to say. I firmly believe that we can make a really good positive influence and make a great community out of this. And you make your channel what you want it to be, and you lead by example. And that's what I'm trying to do. So.
Well, all right. As always, I am the host, Yemmy the Ferret, and this has been another episode of the Ferret Business Podcast.